I'm gonna say it. I hate being single. I wish I could just walk out of my apartment and magically run into the person I'm meant to be with, and just that's it. I don't want to deal with the whole things that comes with being single and dating, and I feel lonely. I'm sure we have said something along those lines or similar to that at one point in our lives, or a friend has said that to us. And I think there's so many things that are overlooked about being single, especially in your 20s. So I want us to have a conversation about the other side, about being single in your 20s, and the positive things that are not talked about enough. Now, when I was thinking of this topic and reflecting on my life and on what other friends of mine have told me and have shared with me, there's three main topics that I want to cover. One, you're in control of your life. Two, deeper understanding of oneself. And three, growing as an individual. Now let's dig a little bit deeper into that, shall we? The first one is being in control of your life. And this can mean many different things for many different people. But for me, and how I interpret it, is if you want to move cities, you can. If you want to move abroad, you can do that. If you want to do some crazy life changes, maybe live out of an RV for one entire year and go across the whole US and whatever it is, you can go and do that. And you don't have to really consider anyone else. And I think that's beautiful. Because obviously when you're in a relationship with someone, these major life decisions, you're going to have to consider the other person, how that's going to affect them. Maybe their job is in the specific city that you are and they can't find a new job where you want to move to, X, Y, and Z, and all of these other things that come with life. But when you're single, especially in your 20s, when you have so many life changes happening at the same time, it feels like at the same time, it is kind of beautiful to not have to think about anyone else except yourself. You can be as selfish as you want to be. And let's be honest, when you meet your person, you're not going to have another time like that. You're going to have to consider having this other person and how decisions that you're making on your life are going to affect them. And that's just the part of it. It's you know what a healthy relationship does. And then at one point, let's say you want to become a parent and you become a parent, you no longer can just decide you want to do something without having to consider another human being literally for the rest of your life. So there's something so poetic and beautiful about being single in a time in your life, in a period in your 20s where you are going to change and evolve. You're going to look back at pictures from 5 years ago when you're going to be like, whoa, I don't even recognize that person. And that's totally fine because it's part of life. We evolve and we change and hopefully we become better. So take being single in your 20s as basically this gift from the universe to just do whatever the heck you want to do and be whoever you want to be, and change that whenever you want to change that. If you're not happy about where you live or where you work or who you are, just change the whole freaking thing. Change your hair color, change your style, change where you live, change what you do, change how you talk, change who you hang out with. And it's a gift. Evolve and figure out who you are until you get to the point where you're happy with the person that you are. Number two is probably one of my favorite things about being single in your 20s, and it's that you get to have a deeper understanding of yourself. You should date yourself in your 20s. Answer the tough questions of who am I? What do I want? What makes me happy? What makes me sad? Who do I want to be? Like all of these questions that are going to define you later on, that are going to define your life and your happiness. Tough questions like, okay, what I thought I wanted in life is not what I want. And now I have to change this whole picture of what I thought I wanted my life to look like because I'm doing that and I'm not happy. And you can do that again without having to worry about what those life changes and answering those questions mean for another person. You can understand your triggers and set your boundaries and go to therapy and journal, and you can basically set yourself up to understand the kind of love that you want and the kind of life that you want as well. You know, what are you really looking for? Like, what's really important to you? Like, maybe during this discovery, you realize, I thought I wanted to be a mom, but I don't. And now you can go about your life and be like, okay, well, my future partner, they're not gonna want kids. How many times have we heard of two couples getting into a relationship when they're really young, and then one of them realizing that they don't wanna be a parent? And that's totally fair, that's fine. But you also can't make someone want to be a parent, and you can't make someone not want to be a parent. And these moments, these self-reflections, you can do it in the comfort of being able to change your decisions at any given moment. And it's beautiful. And then you're gonna get to a place and a point where you answer these core questions of what makes you who you are at your essence, your core. And then when you're searching for this partner that you want to be with, you understand, what is a non-negotiable for you and what are you willing to compromise on? Because relationships are give and take. It's never 50-50. I think that's probably maybe something I've reflected on, is that's one of the biggest lies, because there's gonna be a time in your life where you're gonna maybe need more support than your partner does. And maybe there's a time in your life when your partner needs more support than you do. So there's a balance to it, but you have to understand what that balance is for you in a natural state of being. So then when you mix someone else's emotions and feelings and life into it, you can feel in control of what's happening. Number 3 is life. You can build your home and then you can add to it. So I'm a very visual person. Maybe this helps some people. So as I'm talking about this, grow as an individual, I want you to think of you literally building a home. Like, think a contractor comes and he's like, okay, we bought the land, this is where your home is gonna be, and now we get to build it, and you get to pick out every little thing in your home and how it's gonna look like and what you want in it and what you don't want in it and what colors and whatnot. You're building your home. But instead of it being like a physical home, it's your internal space home. And when you have a partner, that partner is going to add to that home. It's not they're going to rebuild that home with you, they're gonna be adding to it. You guys are gonna both add your homes together. Think of like transporting homes, and then they're together and then they connect. But you guys are both individuals in your own homes, but you guys also decided to come together and be like, okay, well, we want to add our homes together and make one big home, but we're still separate individuals as well. And the thing is that sometimes when we get into a relationship, especially young in our lifetime, we forget who we were before. And if you never even figured out who you were before, then you don't even know who you are in your home. You never got to build your home. You never got to pick out every little thing you wanted. So this person just came in and maybe they just added stuff to it. They added things to your home. You're telling your contractor, your builder, like, oh, this is what she wants. This is what she wants. This is what she likes. And then a couple years go by and you look back and you're like, I fucking hate everything in here. Like, I don't like this color. This is not my style. This is not who I am. I don't feel like this is my home. And that's because you never got to figure yourself out and grow as an individual. You never got to discover who you are and what you like and what you don't like. And you didn't get to see it and then be like, you know what, scratch that. I don't want that anymore in my house. Can you please remove it and add something else? Because like, that's not who I am. And when you're single, you can do this because you're constantly changing, especially when you're meeting people, whether that's going on dates or just building your friend group. You're gonna meet so many different characters, so many different humans, that you're gonna realize sort of like what you like in a person and what you don't like. And once you build this relationship with yourself, it's harder to break it. It's harder for it to crumble because you have made sure that the structure is good. If you live in Florida, you have hurricane impact windows. If you live where there's tornadoes, you have a basement. If you have built your home so it doesn't break as easily as if you didn't have your home built already. It's very easy to get lost in someone else's world, in someone else's dream. But once you build this home for yourself and once you know what you want, it's not as easy to get lost in someone else's dream because you know what your dreams are and what your aspirations are, and you're gonna work for that every single day. You've established that ground. I'm not saying to give up on love. I'm a lover of love. I love love, and I'm excited for when my person comes into my life at the time that they're meant to, at the time the universe says you are ready and they are ready for you guys to meet. Just stop waiting for someone to come into your life to start living your life. Stop waiting for someone else to show you love and start showing yourself the love that you so desperately at times seek from someone else. And this has taken me also a very long time to realize and reflect on. I just wrote a journal entry because last year I was in this place where I really wanted to just meet someone and find someone and meet my person. And now I'm like, I have given myself that love that I was so desperately searching for. I have found that within myself, and I'm so extremely happy. And I have my down days because it's life, but for the most part, I'm happy with who I am and where I'm at. And that's so beautiful. I decided that I was going to love myself how I wanted to be loved. And I decided that apart from doing that for myself, I'm also doing that for my future spouse. By answering these questions, it allows me to be a better partner because I can come in and I can just set my self-down and be like, this is who I am for the most part. And you're still going to continue to evolve and grow and change because hello, it's life. And if we're not evolving and changing, it means we're stuck, we're gone. And at one point I became the love of my life. I found that love within myself. I'm not perfect, but I care about myself enough to want to take care of myself first before I can take care of someone else and add to my home. And I continue to work on myself because, you know, if there's any homeowners watching this, you know that once you own a home, like that never stops. Like you're gonna constantly be fixing things and things are gonna break and you're gonna have to go and buy new stuff and mow the lawn, like all these maintenance stuff. You're gonna have to upkeep on the house, and that's the same with yourself because again, just life happens. To sort of like wrap this up into 3 bullet points, I guess, is stop putting your happiness in the hands of someone else and start figuring out what the happiness is for you. Journal about it, pray about it, and step up to the person that you want to be. Be in the energy of receiving and welcoming life and love. I feel like that's something we forget about a lot. Energy is a huge factor in this, and if you're constantly being like, love is so bad, it's you know, everyone ends in divorce, like all these things that we hear about maybe quite often, if you're constantly putting that energy out there, that is all that you're going to continue to see and receive. So be in a healthy energy, in a peaceful energy, and understand that everything is going to work out for you the way that it's meant to. For me, this became a lot more clear, this journey, when I started my healing journey, which started along the same time that I got sober, which I made a video about being sober, so if you want to check that out. And the reason that was such an impact is because I finally stepped up into the person that I wanted to be. So I realized that my future spouse most likely is not going out to the clubs and partying and all. Like, I'm not saying that we can't party and go out, but this is not his everyday thing. If your story doesn't make a lot of sense right now, or your home isn't clear, the vision of your home isn't clear, it's fine. You're going to figure it out. You just kind of have to start. And there isn't any right place to start. You just start. You just decide, I'm gonna do this, and then you go and you do it. I hope this video was helpful because I feel like someone needed to say the positives about being single, especially in your 20s. I'd love to hear your thoughts about this topic as well, or maybe some other things that maybe you heard in the video that were impactful that you hadn't thought of, or maybe some things you want to add to it. So leave comments down below and we can chat about it. This was so much fun to make. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and I will see you on the next one.